The hurdles against Peter Obi's Take Back Nigeria agenda. So Peter Obi is actually working on behalf of other voiceless Nigerians to take back Nigeria from the hand of people that have kidnapped the country for their selfish interest. But again, it's not going to be easy. It's not without challenges. It's not without hurdles. That is what is being said here. But let's see how that is being elaborated more in this write-up. Peter Obi's name will be remembered as one of the new beginnings of a peaceful revolution in Nigeria. His alliance with the Labour Party and the momentum generated by the obedient movement had created a glimpse of hope in the thick darkness of Nigeria. There is the hope of people taking over the country from the political cabal that had kidnapped the souls of Nigeria since independence. Nigerians need to be liberated from the few people united in enriching themselves to the detriment of the larger populace through the instrumentality of power and corruption. Take, for example, the northern cabals are always craving control of Nigeria. The cabals that rule the north and Nigeria had even destroyed the northerners more than anyone else. Since its inception, they have enslaved the people with their focus on religious education and ways of life rather than civilization and development. They were called leaders but had no ideas for transforming their people and society. They have enslaved their people's minds, unlike those who had led Dubai and Turkey, despite practicing the same religion. Peter Obi is not a saint. He is part of the old order of people. We should not be eulogizing, all right? So he's not part of the order of old. We should not be eulogizing. So I recently saw his picture with Ojukwu. I wonder if Ojukwu had done anything meaningful to be remembered except leading his people to war and refusing to be the hero. The heroes are the people who died fighting for an equal and just Nigeria, which we have not had since their demise. Obi is one of the products of the dirty society of power and corruption. I disagree with that because actually he is showing a character that is different from those old brigades and old cabals that have perpetually kept Nigeria under their coffers. So Peter Obi is not a member of the old brigades. I would disagree with that. Okay, let's continue. He is, however, a better of the evils with fewer sins to be counted. If anyone doubts my submission, we should ask Peter Obi to tell us if any of his businesses had not used his position and influence to get an undue advantage. An undue advantage could be a privileged allocation of foreign exchange at a discounted rate for importing goods later sold for profit. Hardly will you find those we eulogize as the saviors of the masses and with close romance with power, with a clean hand. There is no beautiful one among them. Peter is a saint when compared with others. His acceptance is based on a presumed simple, less flamboyant life with the public fund like others. He had comported himself well, and we should give credit to his parents or whosoever had been involved in his upbringing. No doubt he is the best of character among many. However, he had not done anything marvelous with the power he had as the governor of a state. We have not heard about how Peter did magic in Anambra State, the prowess of which could be so convincing for us to be convinced that he is the Messiah, not even to the tune of half of what is being attributed to Bola Ahmed, and better than Atiku, who had not governed a local government in the past. Peter Obi's candidacy and the presidency could be meaningful for Nigerians. He had shown the tenacity of purpose and desire to take back the country from the die-hard politicians who are in the employment of impoverishing the people. Will they allow him to do that? Would the existing structure of religious slavery, brainwashing, and political manipulation enable a candidate with ideals to succeed? Atiku Abubakar said it. Most of the voters from the north will not vote for Peter Obi because they are not on social media. Not only are they not tech savvy, but the system has also enslaved them, except for a few. They have been denied the right level and quality of education required to think and act independently like their southern counterparts, clamoring for Peter Obi. Their minds are not enlightened enough to differentiate between what will benefit them and the direction money, religion, and position dictate for them. They are in the 21st century but living in the 16th century due to a deliberate hypnotization by their leaders. Until recently, these people are yes people and will dance to the tune of the supreme leaders. Now they have taken to banditry and kidnapping as revenge. No one, including the traditional and religious leaders, is safe. The first hurdle against taking back Nigeria from the jaw claw of the impoverishing political cabals in the south, north, west, and east of Nigeria is a supposedly large number of uneducated population and voters in the north. They are large in number, ready to be used, and cannot discern the need for a change outside voting on religion and ethnicity. Take it or leave it. But these people that they say they have large numbers, they are basically foreigners coming from Mali and Niger Republic and neighboring African countries. But we'll get to that later. The votes from the underage voters, double registered voters, and other desperate gimmicks to maintain the existing order will likely lead to a disobedient outcome for the obedient movement. However, as a governor alluded, Peter Obi's attempt is welcome and a testament that Nigerians are tired of the old folks in power. Yeah. The second hurdle against Peter Obi is the desperation of the North to retain power, even when such had set Nigeria backward. They believe that the welfare of their people and relevance for positions are predicated on being the number one citizens and will never allow merit to prevail. Check Buhari's lopsided appointment, federal character, and quota system. If you have a doubt, many people with brilliant ideas and capacity have been sidelined in favor of their less qualified counterparts due to their origin or the religion they practiced. That is the Nigeria our founding fathers created or allowed. This challenge is linked to the deliberate decision to procreate population that add no but voting value to society. I wonder what China would have looked like if its huge population were uneducated and less productive. So ours is a significant population with political advantages during election time. The game is changing with insecurity. It is likely to get to a state where the names of the politicians indicate enemies to be publicly attacked and assaulted. Ask me who values the names of our founding fathers except for their proteges who are still in power and have been enriched by their past affiliations. Peter Obi's outcome in the election will likely teach the Southern people a lesson they have refused to learn. Peter and our new Abraham Bola Tinubu will share the votes in the South. Atiku, being a Southerner by marriages and past business deals, will trail behind them. However, with her large voters, the North will likely vote for Atiku, except for APC governors are sincere with their equity drive to have power in the South. No matter, there is only one game changer which will take years to manifest. The game changer is for the population in the North to be educated beyond their religion and be able to make independent decisions until they are released from the ignorance camp, the use of violence as a tool of expression, killing people for blasphemy and other harmful vices, including the recent kidnapping, will not stop. Nigeria needs a president to liberate all her people from the slavery of mind our past leaders have put us into. Whether it is time to have someone who is not an offshoot of the old folks is a question begging to be answered in 2023. Wow, this is a nice piece. I agree with everything the man has written, but where I refused with him, where I disagree with him, is saying that Peter Obi is of the old folks. I think by his age, by his education, by his antecedent, he's not a part of the old folks. And whether he has done miracle or marvelously in Anambra State when he was a governor, it's not a question, or it's not something to worry about, because the records are there, which he has been saying and nobody has challenged. All right. So I think he has done well. We know he has some hurdles to face, ranging from in fact, it's even more than what has been written. Because apart from the large population in the north, which actually does not add value rather than getting them to vote during an election like this under captivity, and how did they get the population? First, they say they married any number of wives they want, and they bear children like, I don't know, without even training them, just for the purpose of population to make election. Secondly, they have admitted a lot of foreigners into Nigeria illegally and kept them in the north. And most of them are ISWAP, Boko Haram, and all the people, bandits that we have in the north. And now they are the people creating them and procreating them. All right? And so those are the people that will resort to violence when things are not going the way they want. And with the way they want it, it's not in a civilized way. So those are the hurdles Peter Obi have to pass through. But there are more hurdles. For instance, Atiku and Tinubu are ready to lavish the money they have stacked up in Nigeria to be able to win the election. They are out for buying a vote. They are out to rig. They are out to even bypass or hack the BVAS and the electronic vote transmission that has been instituted by the new Electoral Act and by INEC. They are ready to bastardize all of that to be able to win. So there are a lot of hurdles to pass, but I know that at this time God is in charge, and all of those plans and agenda will not sustain. All right. So somebody is writing here, politics itself is like religion, and voting patterns don't usually follow reasons or logic other than interest. So we versus them. The ongoing election in the USA is a testimony. All pundits believe that there will be a red wave in the face of inflation, economic gloom, and rising crimes. But no, there will be no red wave. The battle has been largely drawn over nothing. All right, over nothing the populace have been contemplating about. Also, since it's a game of numbers, the north, southwest, southeast, all right, dichotomies will still play out as it has been from independence. Sentiments aside, the major determinant equation will be north plus southwest or north plus southeast, my opinion. Yeah, so this guy has written well. He tried to be neutral and logical, and that makes sense a bit. But let's see how it goes. Politics is a game of numbers, and a game of choice is not a game of ideal situation. So the writer is an idiot. No, this is insulting the writer. Just mixing words in order to draw people's attention. He didn't mix words. He was just trying to bring points from both positive and negatives, both for and against. And the message inside has been taken, actually. All right. I partially agreed with you on this write-up, another commenter is saying, but my disagreement is on the fact that Obi is of the old order. Yes, he may have become governor, contested under PDP, but his track record is there to verify. All right, is there to verify. He did not benefit corruptly from government, rather he served selflessly. On the issue of achievement in Anambra, from all indices to be used as parameters for assessment, he outclassed Tinubu in every area. The only thing Tinubu supporters can only point out is that he raised the GDP of Lagos with Atiku, which Atiku have come out to refute that it was their government that made it possible through their economic revolution. But as other factors that may likely work against him, I perfectly agree with you. Nigeria will keep on witnessing this slide as far as the illiterate Northerners will always decide where the pendulum will swing to. In all fronts in Nigeria, Northerners are always a problem, starting from their born-to-rule syndrome to their illiterate voters, underage voting, over bloated figures, etc. Until we are able to do the right thing, Nigeria will remain crawling. Wow. So this is another neutral and logical comment here that somebody had just made supporting the writer's notion. So this is what we have this time for sharing. Just put your comment below and thank you for listening.